Good morning, bedheads. I hope you're doing amazing this morning. Click. I'm really got the good bedhead going on today. And considering the topic, I thought how appropriate talking about spirit guides and our communication with them. I mean, how adorable, little unicorn. And apparently unicorns do exist. I don't know. Someday we're going to have to talk about that. We're going to have to talk about that. I don't know where I saw that written, but it's pretty funny. Covering up my microphone as I swallow. You'll have to let me know if that helps. Okay, so if you're new here, hi, I'm Karen, and this is Ask the Spirit Guides. And so this channel is it's it's evolving because it's only been around for like 3 months. But the goal here is I am facilitating conversations of developing relationships with our spirit guides and for you to find the answers within yourself. So, all of us, for us to find the answers within ourselves, so we don't have to keep looking outside of ourselves for answers. Okay. We don't need to ask our best friend, should I make this decision? Because your inner guidance, you and your spirit team can make that decision for yourself. Okay. So, that's really what we're just continuing to explore. Here in many different ways, like angel card readings. I do angel card readings and conversations about everyday life that gets in the way of us hearing our intuition, like just exploring those things so we can kind of get them out in the open and release them. And I do dowsing rod sessions. So if you're new here, welcome. I hope you find something that's useful. So anyway, so today, this is a little bit like a presentation today. Normally in the morning coffee with Karen, I just kind of chit chat about whatever's on my mind. But one of the things I've been telling myself, because there's so many comments and there's so much dialogue going on, which is exactly what I want to have happen. Rather than people just commenting, I want dialogue going on. It would be amazing. Dialogue in the comments so that people are sharing their experiences. And, I propose a few ideas from my own experience. And then the thousands of other people who visit here, you all have your own experiences that are extremely valuable that could help other people as well. And so the more you guys share in the comments, and then you could read and that's what I'm doing, is reading other people's perspective because it's helping me grow too. Okay. And of course, we're going to do that. The goal is that we do that in a very respectful way. And then so people can hear you, right? So it's not, the goal is that we're not like, this is the way it is, which is what happens in religion. This is the way it has to be. I don't believe that. I think there are many, many ways to explore spirituality. And we all have different relationships with our spirit guides. And our intuition is all different. And so we want to be respectful of that in the comments as well. Okay. So as a community, as we continue to develop this community, that's the kind of tone that I would like, that I'm nurturing. And my partners, my sister and my nephew, are also nurturing in this community. And so we're really going to be, we've been very careful about that from the beginning. And as it gets bigger, we'll just keep, you guys can help us keep it, nurture that. Okay. So I don't know why I said all that, but felt like it needed to be said. But the reason I started talking about that is because now that there's so many comments, and, I'm assuming it'll just keep getting, depending if people continue to be interested in these conversations, that I've decided I have to just tell myself that when I go in and look at comments 2 or 3 times a day, that I'll see the ones I'm meant to see, right? So I just have to keep telling myself that, because otherwise I do want to read everybody's comments, but it's just energetically, it's impossible. You would know that, right? You can't even go in and read everybody's comments, right? So the one comment that has kept coming to my attention recently was, Karen, I want to learn how to use their dowsing rods. Do you have a class? Can you do a class? Blah, blah, And so it's gotten me thinking. First, I think my guides are putting that in front of me because they want your guides want you to communicate with them more, right? And so I have a feeling that's getting in front of me to say, have this conversation, basically. Have it now sooner than later. This way, when people ask in the future, we can always refer them back to this video. So at this point, I don't have a class. I don't think there needs to be a full-blown class for it. We will continue to explore this in the Spirit Circle. So if you want to join us in the membership, we're doing right now a whole series of energy clearings, because the more clearings you do, which is like Reiki, it's just, I do with my SGs, with the Dowsing Rods, I've been doing energy clearings. There are some on the public channel as well. I have a playlist called Energy Clearings, but all the new ones are going into the Spirit Circle as a benefit for being in the membership. Okay. But there's quite a few of them in the public channel, so you can still experience those if you're not in the membership. But I think the more you clear, the more you will be able to hear your intuition, which is why I'm doing those energy clearings in there. And so we're going to continue developing this more and more in the Spirit Circle, if that makes sense, because we're having the general conversations here, but the getting down to the nitty gritty is going to happen in the Spirit Circle. Okay, so I did make an actual list today. I have a little list, just to kind of remind myself, because in terms of, so it really, people's interest is really, they're getting dowsing rods because that's something I use on this channel. And so people are getting them and then they're not working for them right away. The dowsing rods are not moving. Okay. And so that's really been what people are asking for, is how do I get the dowsing rods to move? Okay. So the first thing that comes to mind, and I want you to be thinking about this. Okay. The dowsing rod is a tool. Okay. Just like oracle cards are. Okay. Or just like crystals are. And I have a crystal here I'm going to show you that may help with the connection, okay? Because I just got it last night because I'm working on my own connection, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So the dowsing rods are a tool to strengthen your communication with your spirit team, okay? The dowsing rods aren't the thing that's talking to you. So a lot of people will say, the way people will just, and I think everybody knows that. I think you know that, right? But the way people ask questions about it makes it sound like the dowsing rods are the thing that's actually communicating. And it's not. It's obviously not the thing that's communicating. What's communicating is your spirit team, okay? Or the angelic realm, whoever you've asked to communicate with, okay? There's really, it's kind of interesting because I just don't, I try to keep things as simple as possible in my own brain, because otherwise we get overwhelmed by stuff. I like things as simple and clear cut as possible and real big picture. But today we're going to get into some of the hows, okay, which is not, yeah, that's how you teach people something. You got to get to the hows at some point, right? So if you just keep it as simple as that, is I want to have a relation, and I want to have you, okay, we all have relationships with our spirit guides. We all have them, whether we know it or not. They have a relationship with you. Let's just put it that way. You are born, and my spirit guides have said this, and the specifics of this can be different depending on who you hear from the spiritual world, but it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have a team, okay? Whether there's two or one or the specifics of it, just don't get caught in the weeds on that, okay? Just trust that you have guidance, okay? If you can trust that, then at least you're at the first step of understanding that you could have a relationship, an open dialogue with them, okay? So my spirit team has told the community here, and if you're new here, I do have a Start Here playlist where there's a couple videos in there that's about Ask the Spirit Guide, like about spirituality. And we're asking, I got the dowsing rods out and we're asking spiritual questions, like overall arching, okay, in those videos. So if you haven't seen those, even if you've been around, you go check those out. Those are great videos. All the Ask the, you could watch those. I could go back and watch them, and I do, and I learn stuff. I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. So it's really your okay. So what my spirit guides have said is that we each have two spirit guides that we are always with us all the time. And we now I have read, and I've actually confirmed this with my spirit guides, that we also have a guardian angel. Okay. So we have two spirit guides and a guardian angel, apparently, that are with us all the time. Okay. Since we're born. Boom. Never leave our side. Isn't that amazing? So, excuse me. Cover. They always have a relationship with us. They've had a relationship with us before we were even on, like in the womb. Okay. They developed our soul contracts with us. They know exactly what our intentions are, and they're here to support us. Okay. So they have a relationship with us. You are trying to strengthen, we are all trying to strengthen our relationship with them, meaning that we're trying to open the lines of communication because it's very dense here on earth. It's a very, as we all know, right? That darker energy is very dense. And the light, if you can stay in lighter energy, you are not as dense, right? It's as simple as that. So if you stay, that's why the whole self-help movement is like stay in gratitude, stay, give thanks for the things that you have now, take care of yourself, exercise, eat healthy food, all that kind of stuff will help you stay lighter, right? I mean, it really comes down to that. It's again not that actually that hard, right? To think about it that way. So on earth we have lower vibrations, which we all know what those are. It's, fear and anger. It's fear. It's basically fear. Okay, so you will hear people say there are two emotions, fear and love. That's it. There are two emotions, and every other emotion comes out of those. Okay, anger comes out of fear. Okay, so when you are feeling angry, the root cause is fear. So if you can get to the root cause is not anger. Anger is the result of that fear. So whatever that fear is, and it could be a fear from like 10 years ago that you're still, that it's kind of built on itself, So there's the root cause is fear. Okay, so you want to just keep that in mind. And then if you're all the happiness, the root cause is love. Okay. So the more you stay in love, the higher your vibration, the more you can connect with your intuition, which is your spirit guides. Okay. Which makes sense because they're in love only. They're here. But they're way up there, like in terms of the love, And so in order for them to truly communicate with you, they have to bring their vibration down. And I've asked them this. I could get the SGs out right now, but I've asked them this. They have to lower their vibration, which is not a comfortable thing to do, in order to communicate with us. Okay. So we have to kind of thank them for that because they have to spend time in that lower vibration, which can't, maybe not a choice that they would prefer. But they've taken on this job, so that's what they're doing. And so the more you raise your vibration, the more you stay here, the healthier you are, the more sleep you get. It's all the things that are self-care, okay? The higher your vibration is, then you have an easier time communicating, okay? This way, you get to kind of do your job in meeting them halfway. They probably have to come down further than we are going up. But the more you can go up, the more you're going to hear them. Okay? So it's really as simple as that. That's how I feel. These are my opinions. I am opening this up for conversation. In the comments, please add your suggestions. If you have a strong relationship and you've done things differently than I've done, please offer that for others who are looking for ideas. Okay? That would be amazing, because this way then anyone who listens to this video can look in the comments for other ways that might work for them differently than, like, something I'm suggesting may not be the best thing for it, some people who listen to this, but your comments might be. Okay? So that would be amazing. Okay, so that's a little explanation there. So your first job is to take care of yourself. And I continue to say that over and over and over again. That will always be a driving theme on this channel. It's just, it just needs to be that way. One, because you're a human being, and that's the most important thing, is that you take care of yourself. And we all know that, right? For people who have been around Earth for a while, you can't take care of others unless you're taking care of yourself. And when you're not taking care of yourself, we can get, all of us, I've been, you can get nasty to others, right? I'm not pretending ever that I never get nasty to others. And I know if I'm not taking care of myself, I can get not very nice. We all do, all of us. Click. So that really is key, is taking care of ourselves, is just, and it, people think that sounds selfish. Like when you're younger, it feels a little selfish, right? You'll get that. But as you get older, you realize it's not. It's the best thing you can do for others. And it's for yourself and for the world, really. So, because if you take care of yourself and you're in your best, if you're at your best, then you will be inspired to do the things that you have come here to do. But if you're not at your best, you can't hear that inspiration, because your inspiration you can't feel it because you're not up here. You feel the density. You're going to be crabby. You're going to be frustrated, right? So when you're in frustration, when you're in crabbiness, you can't get the guidance from your intuition. You can't feel excited. You don't feel excited about anything, do you? So your inspiration, you're feeling excited about what's going to happen today. So you woke up today, and if you felt inspired to do something today, that's your inspiration. That's your guidance. That's what you're supposed to be doing today. But if you woke up today frustrated and sad and scared, then, which we all do. So don't blame yourself. We all do from time to, we all have days like that. But if you can work yourself out of that, then you can feel inspiration. But you can't feel inspiration from sadness, scared, anger. You know that, right? You just can't feel that. So so get your gratitude journal out. That's where you have to shift. That's where you say a prayer. That's where you take an Epsom salt bath. That's where you go to the gym and jog it out. Whatever you have to do, okay? So that you can feel better, so that you feel inspired. Every time you feel inspired, that's your intuition telling you that's the right path to go on. When you don't feel inspired, that's not the right path to go on, okay? So wait, stop, okay? So it's really, I talk about this, and when I did I talked about this yesterday or a couple days ago, when I did my human design birth chart. So I had somebody do they call it human design, but it's basically my birth chart. And in my birth chart, and I think it's the same it seems like guidance for everybody, but it's how we get to the yes and no. So how in life, when you just feel somebody offers you an idea and you're like, yes, oh, I love that, right? That your inner guidance saying that's right for you. But if somebody offers you an idea and you're like, let me think about it, then your inner guidance is saying that's not right for you. Until you get to a resounding yes, you wait, Okay. Because you can get slightly off your path. You're not going to, you're still connected to your path, but you can get slightly off your path if you're not getting the resounding yes. If you're doing things for others and you're just like, okay, you know what I mean? I've been there many, many times. As empaths, especially, we love doing things for others more than ourselves. And then we feel guilty because we feel guilty if we don't do it for others. You know what I mean? So, okay. So you get that whole idea. So that is number one. If you are in a lower density period of your life right now, just put the dowsing rods down. Just put them down for now and take care of yourself. Okay. Because that'll just frustrate you and it might be harder for you to connect. Okay. And I will go through stages like that too. But even honestly, when I'm in my lower density period of time, my dowsing rods still work for me. Okay. So that would mean that my spirit team has either learned to really bring their energy down, or even at my lowest now, because of my spiritual work or whatever, maybe I've been on earth many, many more times than other people, than maybe one person who's watching this. And that's okay. That just means I'm a senior and you're a freshman type of thing, or I'm a junior and you're a sophomore. It's no difference. Then my dowsing rods still work, even if I'm in a really kind of a low place. My low may just be here. You know what I mean? Even though I still feel the same awfulness and cry and, that kind of stuff. So that's why there's just not one answer for anything. You just have to go with, I think there's some basic concepts we can follow, but you have to go with what works for you. Okay. Okay. So once you have that down, once you are in a place of listening to your yeses, feeling good, coming to a place, even when you wake up in the morning and you feel off, you can quickly, maybe get a gratitude journal out, maybe do some journaling, something like that, where the humanness is, the humanness in our thoughts are not getting in our way constantly. Okay. Because you have to deal with that. We have to deal with the human body. There's just, there's probably people who are in pain. Pain is very, very hard. And I want people to know that I recognize that, and it's awful. Pain is not, I'm very intolerant of pain myself personally. I think it's ridiculous that we have to have pain. I think it's ridiculous. It gets in the way of so much stuff. But obviously pain, I don't know. Pain is the root cause of something, which we all know that, but sometimes you can't get to the root cause. And I get that. Like, I get it, anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. But I just want people to recognize that there are people who live with chronic pain. And I have chronic pain, but it comes in spurts. So it's not, or it's manageable, where I don't have to stay in chronic pain. So there are people who live with that, and we have to recognize that. And that's a whole nother level of something to work through. So, okay. So to get down to some practical stuff, what I wrote on my list here is okay, let me just show you some other tools real quick. And then I'm just going to go through some real boom, boom, boom. Okay. So last night I went to a rock shop and I bought this stone. It's so pretty. Okay. I'll tell you about it. Some of you probably already recognize what it is, but I loved this one because usually it's not on both sides. Like, this is a rough stone. Okay. And so they just opened it and, but this happens to be on both sides. So I loved that. I actually did find, if you are interested in the stone and you don't have a rock shop near you, on Amazon, I'll list it below. It will be an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you any more money. I just get a small commission for it. But just because I know there are people who don't have rock shops near them, I wanted to see if you could find one of these, if I could find one on Amazon for you. There is a family-owned family-owned business from Nevada who's selling their rocks on Amazon. And so you're supporting a family-owned business and they sell these. So I found that and I'll link it for you if you're interested in that. But so that stone, I didn't grab a little sheet because I have a rock identifier app. Thank you to one of our community members who suggested it. So this stone is Celestine. Okay, Celestine. Think of what Cele, Celestine, so Celestine. Okay. Celestite, it's also known as Celestite, and a couple other words I'm not going to describe. Okay. So if you think of somehow the word Celestine and Angelic, I know that doesn't make any sense, but somehow those two just, and that's what this is. This is like an intuition. This is a stone that can help. I'll read it to you, but it can help you open up your connection. Okay. So one of the things I'm doing, so I can communicate with my spirit team through the Dowsing Rods. One of the things I'm working on now, and my team has told me that's okay for me to do slowly so that it doesn't disrupt and I don't get physical pain from doing it. Or anxiety. I really don't want anxiety. If I get anxiety from doing this, I'm not going to do it. I just don't want to have physical anxiety. It sucks. I've been there. It's awful. So, and when you open up your lines of communication, you can experience these things. Your central nervous system has to adapt to it. And we have somebody in our family, not in my direct family, but my sister Marcia and Lob have somebody in their family who she didn't ask for this, but she has an open line and she is physically miserable. So, and she's trying to deal with that. So, and it's not something she even tried to have, I don't believe. So you just want to be careful about it. Okay. So you want to take it slow and you wanted to just ask your team to take it slow. That's all you have to do is you just have to ask for what you want. That's the first thing on my list. Ask for what you want, which means, spoiler alert, you say to your team, I would like you to start communicating with me through these dowsing rods. You have to ask. If you don't ask, then they can't help you because you have free will. So you specifically need to ask for what you want. Okay. Somebody just left a beautiful comment on the channel that I just responded to, saying that she was feeling like she was going through, I think it was going through a dark night of the soul. Okay. Just really struggling, and stumbled across my channel and I got to a video, because there's a couple hundred now, got to a video where I said, you need to ask for help. I don't say that very often. I don't. I think I said it one time. So she got to that video. She was open to it as her human free will was open to that. So then she said, please help me. I need some help with this. And she said she immediately felt relief. And because she asked. So here's the thing, is what I believe is her team led her. So this has nothing to do with me. Her team, my team has guided me to have these conversations so that other people there are people who are not into this, but the people who are coming together. Okay. So her team led her to my channel, led her to that video, but her as a human being had to be open to it. And so she's getting full credit for that. I mean, I know we don't need credit, but our egos, it's helpful. But it has nothing to do with me. I'm thankful that my team led me to have that conversation in that video so that her team could lead her there. You know what I mean? So she asked. So the first thing is you have to ask. Just ask. But ask and say, in terms of your central nervous system, say, I would like to communicate with you in the timing that will work for me so that my central nervous system could adapt slowly and comfortably. Okay. Just be real specific on that. Like I want to be comfortable and have, very smooth communication so that my physical body can stay calm and healthy and, all that, whatever you want to say. Okay. What I wouldn't say, I always get confused. This is the law of attraction stuff. Like what you don't want to say is, I don't want to have anxiety because you're focused on the anxiety then. You want to say what you do want to have is the smooth, um, slow opening so that your central nervous system can adjust nicely and comfortably. You just want to be comfortable, right? Okay. There's a lot to talk about here. Okay, so this Celestine is believed to have a very high frequency. Okay. So it's just a little, it used to, obviously it was a rock. Isn't this amazing, you guys, that inside this, let me find the part, inside this thing right here that looks quite dull. And we walk past these kind of things all the time, right? Rocks like that, just ugly, look, not ugly, but you know what I mean, just dull and nothing interesting. Inside that is that. I mean, come on. Which if you think of the earth, like, okay, think of each of us. Think of yourself. This is us, right? This is our human self. That's what's inside. That's what's inside. I mean, that's such a perfect example. Or inside the earth, or inside, just anyone who's acting like a poop head. That's what's inside. It's just pretty rough on the outside. Okay, all right, focus. All right, so Celestine is believed to have a very high frequency that attracts certain individuals. I don't know what that means. Maybe if it attracts you to it, that's probably what that means. It is said to enhance intuition, okay? Allowing the user expanded consciousness. So that's why I bought that, because I'm trying to go to I think I started talking about that, but besides the dowsing rods, I want to start opening my lines of communication that I can maybe hear them, okay? Because I think it'll be helpful if I can hear them. I could have better conversations here with you guys, okay? And help more people get to that place, basically. I don't know how long it'll take, but it activates the crown and third eye chakra, this stone. Many believe that it has the power to connect with angelic realms and open communication with spirit guides, okay? So it's really odd. I had no idea I was going to talk about this today, but I bought this last night. And then last night I saw that comment about, can you talk about the dowsing rods? I bought that last night, and then I see that. I've been seeing a comment, but I got inspired to talk about it today. So I bought it last night so that I'm going to hold it, like maybe when I meditate and stuff, it'll help with the energy, I think, help higher my vibration and lower theirs maybe. It can help anyone feeling lost to understand their higher purpose in life. I mean, in the store that I was in, they literally called it angelic. It was like an angelic angel stone, basically. And of course, I was drawn to that and the shininess of it right away. Okay, so think about that. So there's tools you can use. Okay, what I do find interesting is both of my crystal for beginners. I just got these, and crystal apothecary. Neither one of these have that stone in it. When this is the stone that's supposed to help connection, it just doesn't make any sense that these don't have that in there. I don't know. I was a little disappointed in that. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, so then you can also read something. So I did get this book. I will list these below. This is a very thin book. Now, I have not read this, but it has really good reviews in it. So if you want something really basic, when I start reading it, I will bring it to Coffee with Karen. I just haven't read it. So Spirit Guides for Beginners. And this says how to hear the universe's call and communicate with your spirit and guardian angels. I mean, it literally says that. So there might be new ideas in here. Again, I'm sorry, I just haven't read it yet. This one I introduced on the channel, I don't know, right? Like the first month I was on the channel. So I apologize to people who got it. And I was like, we're doing this book club. So we will do this. We're going to do a different book club first, the Golden Future in the Spirit Circle. But We'll do this. We're going to do this one next, maybe. It's a simple guide for a life of purpose, abundance, and joy. Let your spirit guides speak. So this one, I really enjoy this book. But again, what happens to me, I got to page 8 and then I found something else to talk about. So it's like I read part of it and I'm like, okay, I get it. And I move on, But I do want to, this is after the golden future. I'm going to read this book. Then I also got The Life-Changing Power of Intuition. This is another one I have not read yet, but I think it's kind of similar. Tune into yourself, transform your life. So this is exactly what we're talking about here on the channel. So I just haven't read this one yet. So again, I will link these below. They're actually always linked below, but I'll put them up to the front of the description. So, okay. So basically then really the concrete steps that I can give you: take care of yourself. All right. Ask for what you want. So you need to get your vibration high, meditate, sleep, whatever you need to do. Okay. We talked about that. Ask for what you want. Just be careful what you ask for. And, just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. The more you get into detail, just go big picture. The more you get into the details of what you want, then you're like, am I saying that word the right way? Am I saying that? That's how I get. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. I don't know. I just, the more simple I keep it. So like if I pray for others, like I'm always like conscious about not going specific, because I don't want to pray for something that gets in the way of what they want to experience on earth. Excuse me. So so a lot of people will suggest, which is beautiful, is just to pray for their highest and best good. But you're asking their angelic team to give them support, basically. Please give them support. So you're asking for what you want. Please give them support for their highest and best good. So at least you're getting the energy and you're asking them to give them support. Okay. So it's the same thing for me. Like, I ask for what I want, but I keep it as general as possible. Just because I don't want to, if I get too specific, you might ask for something that you really don't want. I don't know. Don't be afraid of it. Just be careful about it. Just don't be afraid of it. Don't be in that energy. Okay. Number 2, give them permission to work with your energy. Okay. So you ask for what you want. I want an open line of communication with you. Okay. They're there. You want an open line of communication with you. Now they may decide, you guys, maybe in your soul contract already, it's not even the dowsing rods. They may decide that you're going to start hearing them or something, or seeing visions or something. But again, just ask for to do it calmly and comfortably. Okay. But definitely ask them to give them permission to access your energy. Okay. I think that's important to do. Number 3, work on trusting your intuition. So if you're not trusting your intuition, if you're not trusting, it's pretty obvious with the dowsing rods that something that my guides are communicating with me. The energy is moving. Okay. When I first started doing automatic writing, where you would just in a journal, maybe right when you get up in the morning, just say, what would you like me to know today? Or please give me some messages for today. And if you sit and just wait, and then you start writing whatever, not really what comes to your mind, but just whatever starts flowing through you. I trust that is your spirit team talking to you. Okay. So you want to start trusting that however you're getting inspired, that is your spirit team. The more you start trusting that, the more you're opening up that line of communication. Okay. So some of it is a trust thing. So just because they're not talking to you this way does not mean they're not talking to you. You might, if you're doubting yourself, then if you're doubting that they're even talking to you or if they're even there because the dowsing rods aren't working, you're keeping your energy low when it comes to trusting your intuition. Okay. We talked about vibration. So that was number 4, just keeping your vibration. And then my 5th thing was just trust in divine timing. Trust in divine timing. I don't know why, I've been working, I was probably like 45 when I got my dowsing rods, and they did work right outside of the box. They just did. And some other people say they work for them too. And, I was a little bit older. I'd been talking about working on my spirituality since I was 16, And so I don't know. I don't know that that doesn't mean that I'm better. It just means that maybe I was trusting my intuition more. Maybe my vibration was higher for some reason. Maybe I've been on earth more times than some other people, so that my vibration is just higher because I've been here more. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. So I think those are my best tips. I hope they were helpful. Again, please, these are, I am not there. This channel is not about experts, because I don't think there are experts. I think there are people who have experience and knowledge and communication, and they can share different ideas. But please refrain from saying, no, this is how it is, because I really want people to be open to exploring what is good for them. Okay. Rather than feeling there are rules. Okay. So no rules here. No rules on this channel, except for kindness and love. How about that? Okay. All right. Well, let's go unicorns. Have an amazing day, you guys. We'll see ya, I think tonight. I don't know. I'm doing an angel card reading tonight. So I don't know what it's on yet. I haven't been guided yet. So we'll figure it out. But maybe you'll join me. See you later. Bye bye.